For this next project, we're going to be working with Illustrator and After Effects. Both are very compatible with each other, and you can use each one for its strengths. Illustrator is a design program, is a great drawing program, and After Effects being a very flexible animation and video program. So the first step, especially when you're working between two different softwares, is to have one folder where everything comes from. So I'm going to save everything into this demos folder I've set up where my After Effects project lives. All my assets for this drill and the project are going to be into one folder. I'm going to go ahead and create a new Illustrator file. And I'm going to use the film and video templates. I'm going to use the 1920 by 1080 pixel template. Name it over here. All that looks good. I'm going to press create. The nice thing about the film and video template is that it has an alpha channel behind it. So there's nothing behind it. So anything you make in here, it'll just be the object. It won't have a default white background that you have to deal with in After Effects. So I'm going to create a simple object here. A circle using this shape tool on the side panel here. I'm going to hold down Shift, and I'm going to create this white circle. And I'm going to press Save. I'm going to save it right into that folder, the Demos folder. Now I'm going to go ahead and open up After Effects. After Effects is this composition is open as an Illustrator object, so you're going to import your file. But first I want to check my settings and just show you what I've got here. 10 seconds, 1920 by 1080 square pixels, 30 frames a second. And I'm going to actually rename this. Underscore last initial underscore DR4. Call it object. So now I've got this object here. I'm going to file, import file. I'm going to select from the demonstration this AI file that I saved. I'm going to bring it in as composition retain layer sizes. This will respect the aspect ratio that I've set up for this. And the nice thing about this is that I get this little layer here. So I can just drop this into my session. So I have an object in there. Wonderful. So why didn't we just make a circle in After Effects? Well, you could, but maybe you have something where you want to use the pen tool, or you have a compound object or a logo that you've created in Illustrator and you want to animate it. Well, this is a great way to create that connection. The nice thing about this connection also is that if you went back into Illustrator and you say you wanted to make some changes to this, make it a red circle, and I press Save, Command S, and I go back into After Effects, well then all those changes are reflected, which is super cool, right? So this just acts as a layer object that I can do anything with. It doesn't have a path line, but I can do any number of things with it as I see fit. Now, the issue here is that perhaps you want to change the boundaries of this object, right? Instead of just the position and some of the other details, right? Well, then let's do that. So I'm going to take this, just put a new one in here. So I have just the raw object. If I were to take this select it, hold down Control, and go to Create Shapes from Vector Layer. So it's Control click on the layer, create shapes from vector layer. I haven't destroyed anything. In fact, I can have both of these working at the same time if I really wanted to, right? I could have this one over here, but I won't for sake of argument, just to show you the project outlines. I've got this now as an object that I can actually change with a path. How cool, right? So now I can pull this around and change its path by shift clicking on those points. So actually, before I do that, I'm going to create a path line. And maybe we'll stretch it out. So now we create an object that we can actually transform as well, which is pretty cool if you think about it. Now this is just a simple object. Maybe you want to get something more complex drawn and then be able to shift it around. This is a great way to be able to do that, to morph your shapes. So do that now. Create and export just a short 2-second there or thereabouts animation where you transfer and link up a Illustrator object, turn it into an outline, and then change the path line of it and export that.